this, I think. Yep. All right, awesome. So I believe it is recording. So why don't we go ahead and get started whenever you are ready. Makobi from the top.
Do you want me to call you like his last name? Like say like his mom, or just say Mr. Scott?
Last name is fine.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, ring ring, hello.
Hey Mr. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing really good, man. I'm doing good. You have a good day so far?
So far it's been awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Hey, how's TJ doing?
He's great, actually. He just started. He's just going to be starting school here in just a few days, and he's really excited. He's a little nervous. Want to make sure he got all his stuff for college, but he's excited. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just finished my second semester of summer class. Finished with an A, so it was all that hard work. I'm glad it's over with, though. I regret it sometimes, but it's well worth it at the end. I'm about to start some classes in a couple weeks, actually, so pretty excited about that too. Always glad to go back to class. What's TJ taking this year? Do you know?
Well, he's doing some of his prereqs, but I think he's going for an accounting major. So he's going after some math classes, I think. Hopefully that'll just mean he doesn't have to ask me for any questions because I don't know anything about math. So that'll actually be a positive thing for me.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe we can hang out sometimes because that's what I'm doing, actually. I'm actually an accounting major right now myself. So that's great. That'll be a good major for him for sure.
For sure. That's awesome. Well, good for you.
Yeah. So how's your wife doing?
Doing well. She just got back from a business trip, and now she's I think she's starting up some sort of course on something. I'm not really sure exactly what it's on, but it's supposed to kind of better her business. So that's a positive thing.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. So where'd she go?
She went to Washington State. There was like a retreat. She's a massage therapist, so there was like aromatherapy.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. She's trying some of that stuff on me, which I think it's all kind of weird, but I support her, of course.
Get a massage out of it. That's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome, Mr. Scott. That's good to hear. I'm glad TJ's going to start school soon. Yeah, he'll be excited for it for sure. It's always good. It's good experience to get through that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So did you got my email earlier that I sent you that had that company website on there?
I think I did. Yeah. Do you want me to pull that up?
Yes, sir. If you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be awesome.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull that up. All right, I got the email up, and what do you want me to do here?
So if you'll just put copy and paste that link into the browser for me, it'll take you to the website. And actually, what I can do is I have a Zoom application here, and I'll just let you join my meeting, and we can go from there. Okay?
All right.
Perfect.
All right, I'm in.
Awesome. And then I'm just going to share my screen with you, so I'll be able to show you the whole presentation. You won't have to worry about anything. You can just listen to me talk and watch the presentation. Okay?
Okay. And then Makobi, you typically don't do a Zoom call, right? You typically just have them click along, right?
Right.
Yeah, I want you to pretend like you're just doing the clicking along version of it for now.
Okay. All right. Perfect. My bad. All right. Well, then as long as you're there, if you will click to that second slide there that has thank you for helping me reach my goals. It's got the President's Club, All-American Scholarship, a couple other things on there. Okay. Just let me know when you get to that page.
Okay, I see it. It says thank you for helping me reach my goals. Is that the one I'm supposed to be on?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Well, that's where I'm going to get started for you today. And I do want to thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really appreciate it. I know there's a million things you could be doing with your day, so for you to take some time to talk to me, it really means a lot to me.
No problem. I'm happy to help.
Awesome. So I know you know me just because it's TJ, but I do want to introduce myself a little bit more. I'm originally from Wichita Falls, Texas. Played football and basketball with TJ since we've been in fourth grade, I think, like something like that. Went to Ryder, McNeil, all the good schools. You know how it is. I'm currently living in Lubbock, going to Texas Tech. I'm double majoring in finance and accounting. Like I said, a lot of math. It's very stressful. but that's just the way I think. I'm a very analytical person. My mom used to drill me in math all the time. So always a good time for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But getting away from education, though, some of my favorite hobbies are reading and photography. I'm definitely an avid reader for sure. I'm actually on my 9th book this year. So, I'm way ahead of schedule. Usually I'm at 5 or 6. So I'm definitely excited. I'm getting a lot more done this year for sure. So it's a very good year. And then I actually just picked up photography a couple months ago, and I'm learning how to edit, learning things about the camera, the small stuff. So it's a very fun experience for sure.
Wow.
And those are just a couple things I do to relax, clear my head, and avoid responsibilities. Because all college students need something to avoid responsibilities with. Am I right? Exactly. Well, that's awesome. Now you know a little bit about me. Now I have actually come up with some pretty big goals since starting to work with Cutco. Do you mind if I share those with you?
No, please.
Awesome. So my first really big goal is actually that All-American scholarship right there. So I do have an opportunity to win this scholarship this year. I think I'm about 20 people out from top 100, so I'm pretty excited about it. Now, obviously, it would help me pay for school. It's a pretty big deal. But also receiving that from a $250 million national marketing firm, it's really going to increase the value of my resume exponentially and just give me that extra oomph whenever I submit my resume to companies. So I'm very excited about it. That's my biggest goal. I'm really shooting for about $35,000 this summer in order to hopefully at least get in the top 100 for that scholarship. So that's pretty exciting. And then my next goal is actually to run my own branch next summer. Now, Mr. Scott, you might not know this, but I actually sold $10,000 in my first 10 days. I was one of the first people this summer to do that in the company, so I was pretty excited about it. And I was able to get promoted to assistant manager position, and that's given me an opportunity to run my own branch next year, which would really give me that experience that, always hinders students from earning jobs after graduation, especially in today's world. Whenever we're applying online, first thing you see is those requirements, and it's like 2 years managerial experience or 2 years bookkeeping experience for accounting job, something like that.
Right.
And it's hard to get that experience from another job because you don't have that experience. They're not going to let you take that job. So that's the cool thing about Cutco. They've given me the chance to have that managerial experience and hopefully put myself a step above everybody else. So that's a pretty cool thing. I'll be able to continuously improve both personally and professionally, building confidence in dealing with business and people, just really developing my leadership abilities. Now, you might not have known this because I was comfortable with you in high school, but public speaking is my number one fear. And then interpersonal relationships is number 2 right there. So this is definitely out of my comfort zone for sure. But Cutco is giving me that experience to talk to people. So it's very fun for sure.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, my dad always told me to step out of my comfort zone if I wanted to be successful. So that's what I'm doing with this job, and I'm liking it so far. So I'm glad he told me that.
Definitely.
But my dream is actually to be an entrepreneur or CEO. So I absolutely think that would be an incredible opportunity for me. That's really why I'm working my butt off this summer, fighting for my goals, doing everything I can to really build my resume and myself so I can reap those benefits and hopefully put myself on the right path for the future. Now, like I said, my goal for the summer is $35,000. So what we can do is just a 5-minute demo. You can cover the other $9,000 because I'm actually at $26,000 right now. I'll just take a break for the rest of the summer. How's that sound? Yeah. Hey, you got to try, right? Law of averages.
That's right.
But yeah, like I said on the phone, you definitely don't have to buy anything today. But this is great stuff, and you're going to want to, and you definitely can. So if you see anything you like today, please don't hesitate to get it. Not only would you be contributing to my future, but also I'll get you the best deal possible.
Okay.
But Mr. Scott, Cutco is awesome. So you can buy sets or pieces. We have tons of accessories and gifts. We also have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. It's just another option for you there. But just so I know, do you cook because you have to, like to, or love to?
I love to. Yeah, actually, you know what? I really do. I like barbecuing. I like grilling. I don't get to do it a lot, but man, on the weekends, there's nothing better than being in front of the grill, dog outside, kids playing Frisbee. Like, that's just good life for me,
Absolutely, absolutely. That sounds awesome. My dad always barbecued. Unfortunately, that gene didn't pass down to me, but I love being out there with him when he does it. It's always a good time for sure. Well, that's awesome that you love to cook, man. I personally am a have-to person. My mom junior year the first thing she said to me was like, all right, I'm done cooking for you. You got to either learn or eat out. So I had to learn pretty quickly. Still to this day, though, ramen noodles are my best meal for sure. But working with Cutco, I'm having to learn how to use all the knives. So I'm definitely getting better at cooking for sure. And I think that Cutco just makes it more enjoyable to cook. So whether you're a love-to person like yourself or a have-to person like me, I really think Cutco is going to you're going to love Cutco either way for sure.
Okay.
So Mr. Scott, if you'll click that arrow for me.
Okay, got it.
And we'll go to what Cutco actually is. So today I'm going to talk to you about why Cutco is a top-selling American-made brand in the U.S. Then we'll take a look at our product line and then review prices and specials at the end. Now, Mr. Scott, I do only work through referrals, so I hope you like me and Cutco enough to tell some friends about me.
Okay. Okay.
But a little bit about the company. So since 1949, all Cutco knives have been made in the U.S. in our factory in Olean, New York. We sell over $200 million worth of Cutco annually. And as of 2018, we're actually up to 19 million customers. So we're definitely getting bigger every year for sure. We're a proud producer of many K-bar knives used by both military and law enforcement agents. But most importantly, Cutco is your partner in the kitchen, at the table, and beyond forever, because it's one of the only products you can buy once, use every day, and you're never going to have to replace. So to start off, I'd really like to show you two products that demonstrate the quality of Cutco. And if you'll click that arrow with me, we'll actually go to the first video I want to show you.
Okay.
And that's of some super shears.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and click that.
All right. So the super shears, they're pretty cool scissors. Now, I'll tell you what, they're definitely more than scissors for sure. They're definitely a fan favorite because of what they can do to that pinning right there. That's actually, that's what sold me on this job myself. In my interview, the first thing they did was cut that penny in half, and my jaw dropped a little bit, and I was like, all right, let's start selling knives. So those are definitely a good deal right there. They're made of high carbon stainless steel, which makes them good for everything in the kitchen, as well as indoor and outdoor projects. They're dishwasher safe, come apart for easy cleaning. I mean, they're gonna get through everything that your scissors at home give you a headache with right now. So I mean, it's cardboard boxes, the tin wire, it's plastic boxes that cut your hands whenever you try and open them just with your hands. But they're also good for food as well, like has broccoli, cabbage, and meats, things of that nature.
Wow. Okay.
Sure. And then if you'll click with me again.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go to the peeler.
All right. Awesome.
All right. So, like I said, I'm a have-to person. So, in my opinion, I always thought peelers were just made equally. I thought they were all the same. But from talking to so many people, I've actually found out that peelers are quite a pain in the butt if you ask most people. So,
sure.
a lot of times whenever we're peeling, our peeler gets stuck in our vegetables and we try and go back and forth, right?
Yep.
It's very frustrating, I imagine. So that's the cool thing about this peeler. We use the same blade that we use on all our knives, and it's able to peel in both directions flawlessly. So you're going to get through your carrots, your onions and potatoes and things of that nature with ease. And like all of our gadgets and accessories, it's guaranteed forever and dishwasher safe.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Scott, a lot of customers actually end up getting one of these two items for free. I'm going to show you how to do that later, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, perfect. So I do want to show you where we got the idea for Cutco. If you'll click that arrow with me right there.
Okay.
All right. So does this drawer look familiar to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, we got a kind of a drawer. I think, there's some stuff that, I don't know about that one in the middle. That looks like some knife.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad knife right there.
I know that we've melted a knife before. I think one of them, we have a broken knife.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Was it plastic?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing. Yeah, man. Well, you're a love-to cooker, so you probably don't have this many drawers in there.
No, not as many, but just because I love to cook. I mean, I don't think I have one really awesome knife. It's like I don't know what's the name of it, but it is awesome. It cost me an arm and a leg.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man. Sometimes that's all you need is one knife, but
yeah.
Yeah. So this drawer right here is what we call the world's most expensive set of knives. I definitely used to have a couple of these drawers in my household that my mom would probably rather not talk about. But it's definitely there. She doesn't have it anymore, obviously. But
Right.
this is the average knife set. It's designed to last a year, maybe two if we're lucky. So most households end up wasting a ton of money replacing cheap knives over and over again. Now, you probably know this better than I do, Mr. Scott, but cheap knives have quite a few problems. So the first problem we really talk about is their handles. Now, we have wooden handles and low-grade plastic handles. Do you own any wooden handles yourself?
I'm sure that I'm sure there's something in there like that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. The wooden handles are attractive when new, but unfortunately, they are extremely unsanitary. They absorb a lot of liquids, bacteria, grease, germs. They retain a lot of odors, and it's hard for that wood to just keep anything out. It's porous as is naturally, and that's why in several states restaurants don't use wooden handles anymore because of those sanitation concerns. It's not exactly something we want to be cutting our food with. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah. So the wooden handles, yeah, they're very unsanitary. And then we have those low-grade plastic handles, and that's usually probably what melts in the dishwasher, breaks really easily. They're usually pretty cheaply constructed. So again, they do melt, they chip, they crack, and they break really easily. And they're slippery when wet, which is extremely dangerous while we're cutting. Obviously, you can slip on the handle and cut yourself, which if you've ever done that, you know how bad that hurts. So
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely do not want that. Another problem we talk about is how poorly common knives are constructed. So most of our knives have a partial tang, which if you don't know what a partial tang is, it's usually how far down the steel goes. If you look on the back of a blade, you can see that usually most of the time it goes like halfway down the handle.
Right.
So that makes them weak and unbalanced, and that's why a lot of times our plastic knives will end up wobbly or breaking. I don't think I've ever had a knife that wasn't at least a little bit wobbly in my mom's house, which is always frustrating. But
right.
So that partial tang is always very, very unfortunate. And then most of the rivets are made of brass, which do expand, contract, and loosen and create unnecessary gaps, which contributes to that unsanitary handle. We have two types of steel. So we have carbon steel, which is strong metal, but it does rust and corrode quickly, which is unattractive and, again, very unsanitary. And then those usually come on the wooden handles. And then we have the stainless steel blade with the low-grade plastic handles, which do look good, but it's a soft metal, so it's not going to stay sharp long, and it's difficult to sharpen after the fact. Now, have some of your knives gone dull over the years, Mr. Scott?
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we were able to maintain it.
Yeah, for sure. And, you can sharpen it, but it takes a lot of effort. And the unfortunate part is that most companies kind of design them that way so that they go dull and you're kind of forced to either sharpen them constantly or go back and buy some more. It's just kind of a very vicious cycle that I feel like we shouldn't have to deal with. And that's actually what I'm going to talk about next. So there's two types of edges. So we have the serrated edge, which is usually like our steak knives, right? They rip and tear your food, but they can never be resharpened. So once those teeth go dull, you just have a dull knife unless you go buy a sharp one.
Right.
And then we have the straight edges, which do make a smooth cut, but they have to be sharpened constantly to remain effective. And most companies recommend that you sharpen your straight edge after every single use. Right. So every single time you've pulled out that straight edge knife, you're supposed to sharpen it, which for something to remain effective, you shouldn't have to do that. It's just too much of a hassle, I think.
Okay.
And it's definitely not the food that dulls a knife, it's the hard cutting surface. So both the straight edge and the serrated edge come into direct contact with the cutting board, which is what's going to dull them so quickly. And again, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp one because you have to push harder, which could lead to a lot of possible accidents in the home, which we definitely do not want. So I actually want to show you how Cutco has solved all these problems. If you'll click that arrow with me, we're going to go to the features and benefits.
Okay. I'm there.
So there are actually 5 features that make Cutco the world's finest set of cutlery. Now, Mr. Scott, obviously when we're talking about the world's finest anything, they are going to be more expensive, but good things aren't cheap and cheap things aren't good. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Sir, absolutely. So the first feature is our universal wedge lock handle, which is going to fit any size hand, big or small, left or right. Now, this universal design does lock your hand into place, increasing control and safety, and gets rid of a lot of fatigue, so you're able to cut longer on your holidays and your family get-togethers. Now, this does make Cutco more expensive, but it's worth it because it's comfortable and safe. And the handle is actually developed by Thomas Lamb, who also developed and designed over 25 tools that doctors use in surgery today. And he studied over 700 pairs of hands. So you're definitely getting top-of-the-line quality whenever it comes to the design of this handle. The next feature is our thermal resin handle material, which is never going to chip, crack, or break. And it's an expensive material to use, but it's worth it because it's dishwasher safe and sanitary. So it's actually the same thing that bowling balls and football helmets are made of. So those, you don't usually see those break. So same thing with this handle.
Okay.
The third feature is our full tank construction. So we use the extra steel, which is more expensive, but it's worth it because it creates that strength and balance. So we're never going to have knives that are wobbly or break out of the socket, something like that. And those 3 nickel silver rivets are flush with the handle, which make it strong and sanitary. So you can run your finger over them, and you're not going to feel them or anything like that. There's no gaps whatsoever, so nothing can seep into them. The fourth feature is our very high-grade steel. So this steel is expensive to use, but it's worth it because it has the best of both worlds. So it has high carbon for edge retention, and it's stainless for beauty, making it sanitary and sharp. Now, this is the same steel used in surgical instruments. Mr. Scott, how long do you think it takes to make this steel?
I have no idea.
So you might be surprised to know that it takes 5 days. So they put it through a 3-step heat tempering process in Olean.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty cool because I get to go up to Olean this November and hopefully see it myself. So what they do is they heat it up to 1,500 degrees, freeze it at negative 300 degrees, and then heat it back up to 500 degrees. And there's a technical term for it, but chemistry is my worst subject. So basically what it does is strengthen the integrity of the steel. And that's why you can throw it into a dishwasher without having to worry about it rusting or anything like that. I know that's why a lot of people avoid throwing their knives in the dishwasher, which is pretty cool.
Wow, okay.
Yes, sir. And then the last feature is our most famous. So it's our exclusive Double D Stay Sharp Edge. And if you'll click this arrow with me, I actually have a video. We're going to compare the serrated edge, straight edge, and then Cutco's Double D edge. And we use a rope because it's similar to meat and vegetables without damaging the knife. So with the serrated edge, it does exactly what it's supposed to. It rips and tears that rope. It's kind of a dirty cut, but it gets through there pretty quick because it does exactly what it's supposed to. Then we have the straight edge knife. So obviously this knife isn't meant for cutting back and forth, so it does take a little bit longer, but it definitely makes a lot cleaner cut.
Right.
The biggest thing with these two blades, Mr. Scott, is that they come into contact with that cutting board. And again, the hard surface is what dulls those knives. So that's the biggest problem. And then I couldn't even finish my sentence with the Double D edge. You saw how quickly it got through the rope and how clean of a cut it actually made. So it kind of combines the two, and that's exactly what it does. So if you'll click that arrow with me,
okay,
I'm going to go to the picture of a Double D edge. So unlike a serrated edge, Cutco's Double D edge has 3 straight edges that smoothly cut forward, backward, and straight down. So the points are what protect those recessed edges from going on the cutting board, and that's what keeps each knife sharp for up to 10 years. Even after that, they can be resharpened for free. Excuse me. So while most of our knives do have the Double D edge for cutting back and forth, some Cutco knives have straight edges for chopping, dicing, and precision cutting. Now, this unique edge does use expensive technology, but it's well worth it. So if you'll click that arrow with me again, I want to show you what I think is the best part about Cutco.
Okay.
And that's our 4-part forever guarantee. So earlier, you heard me say that Cutco is one of the only products you can buy once, use every day, and you're never going to have to replace. And the forever guarantee is the reason I can say that without just kind of being a sleazy salesman, Mr. Scott. So the product is your proof of purchase, and you can pass it down from generation to generation. The cool thing is you don't have to worry about holding on to receipts or order confirmations, anything like that, because as long as you have the knives, you have that guarantee, which is very cool.
Okay.
So it's kind of like any good tool in the garage. Now, are you familiar with like Snap-on or Craftsman tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know that if you break them, they replace them, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So with Cutco, it's covered just the same. These are your toolbox for your kitchen. So the first part of that forever guarantee is the forever performance. It says that if anything ever goes wrong with your Cutco, you just send it back to the factory. The company's going to fix or replace it for free. Now, you're never going to have to pay to replace your knives. The next part is the forever sharpness. So whenever your Cutco does finally need sharpening, you just send it back and it'll be sharpened and polished for free. All you're going to pay for is shipping, which for 10 items, I believe it's $9. So that's a pretty cheap cost.
Wow.
The cool thing is, the cool thing is a lot of times they actually just send you a new knife because sometimes it's cheaper for them to just give you a brand new knife than it is for them to sharpen it. So for the cost of shipping, you could get a brand new knife back. The third part is the unconventional use. So this is more for the younger kids. So if you ever happen to destroy your Cutco through unconventional use, say you need to use it for as a screwdriver on your fridge or dig a hole up in the backyard, something like that, you can get it replaced for half price because obviously a lot of different things happen. We don't want you to have to pay full price for another knife. So that's the cool thing about that guarantee right there. And then we have the unconditional return policy. So we do have a 15-day risk-free money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason at all, you can get a full refund. Now, Mr. Scott, we can't always see both spouses together. So what we recommend is that you try out Cutco together for a few weeks risk-free. Make sure you both love it. And if for some reason you don't, you can just send it back and get all your money back. No fuss whatsoever. But Cutco is such a great investment because you'll never have to buy another set ever again. Now, I do have a couple testimonies here. If you'll click that arrow with me, got a video here for you.
Let's just skip the video just because I've seen the reference yet.
That's what I was going to ask you. Let's see. And then if you'll click all right, if you click, you should be at the Homemaker set plus 8.
Yep.
Awesome. So, Mr. Scott, you can buy individual pieces, but most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value. Now, it's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency. And we do have 2 larger set options for customers who love to cook called the Ultimate and Signature. But I'm just going to start with the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker plus 8. So it has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in your kitchen as efficiently as possible, and it's the best value for the average family. And if you'll click that arrow, it actually starts with your paring knife. So the paring knife. What do you use a paring knife for normally, Mr. Scott?
I don't know, kind of like peeling apples, stuff like that. I don't know if I use it much, but I think my wife uses it more.
Right. Well, I mean, peeling apples, that's basically how I was going to describe it myself. The only thing I would add to that, actually, is that most paring knives usually have a short handle, which is very unfortunate, kind of digs into your hand a little bit, makes it uncomfortable. So what we did with our air knife is we gave it a long handle just to make peeling and paring more comfortable. Yes, sir. And like you said, we use it for small jobs in the air, like peeling apples, potatoes, mangoes, things of that nature.
Okay.
But it's never used on the cutting board. That's why we have your trimmer. So if you'll click there with me and start that video.
Okay.
So the trimmer, I think it's a fan favorite because of that tomato right there. Have you ever smashed a tomato before?
Yeah, dull knives do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the very frustrating thing to deal with. I know it always angers me whenever I do it. So that's the cool thing about the trimmer. Even on the softest tomato, you can get the thinnest slice of tomato you've ever cut. But the trimmer is actually your small utility knife for small fruits and veggies. It's great for lemons, limes, oranges, but it's also good for meal prep. And that's what I use it for personally. Use it for trimming the excess fat off the chicken because, whenever you're using a serrated edge, it always wants to fight back with you. So that's the cool thing about the double D edge. Makes it real easy to get through all these chickens and the tomatoes. And like I said, it's a fan favorite because of that versatility for sure. But the trimmer is never used for spreading or serving, and that's why we have your spatula spreader. So if you'll click with me there.
Okay.
Do you ever use a serving piece?
Sure. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Or is it more like a butter knife most of the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the cool thing about the spatula spreader. It's kind of a two-in-one, except for it's got a lot sharper blade. So the spatula spreader has a wide, flexible double D edge on there, which allows you to cut, spread, and serve your sandwiches, bagels, lasagna, and cake. It makes a very precise cut. So like, especially on like our bagels and our sandwiches, whenever we cut them, a lot of times we leave a lot of crumbs on the plate, probably enough to make another slice of bread. So that's the cool thing about the spatula spreader. You make that clean cut, you eliminate a lot of the mess. Obviously not all of it, but some of it. It's got an ergonomic design on there as well, so you can get the perfect scoop of cream cheese for your bagels or your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, whatever the case may be. Now, I know they put peanut butter after the jelly, but we'll give them a pass on this one.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is kind of weird, I know. But I always give them a pass just because, you know, it looks like it was made in 2003, but it's all right. But you'll never use the spatula spreader on meats or large vegetables, and that's why we have your petite carver and your turning fork. So if you'll click there with me.
Okay.
So the petite carver is an awesome knife. Have you ever had to cut a pineapple before?
Wow.
Yeah. Usually the pineapple.
We typically buy them in the container.
I'm sorry?
We typically buy them already cubed up or in a container.
Ooh, that's how I used to buy them too. But I promise you, if you get this petite carver, it's going to taste a lot better, just like this right here. So that's the cool thing. The petite carver is your large utility knife. It's your everyday meat knife for chicken and small roasts. But as you saw, it's also great for large summer fruits and tough vegetables. So it's going to get through your pineapples. I know a lot of my experienced managers can get through a pineapple in about 45 seconds if they're going slow. So it'll definitely get through there really quick. And then you see it's making slight work of the acorn squash, grapefruit. I mean, it's gonna make things a lot easier. All you do is press down, apply a little pressure. It's gonna go straight through. And then making a couple small appearances in this video as well is the turning fork. So it has 3 sharp tines, which make it easy to turn meats and veggies and get things out of jars. The cool thing about the turning fork, though, is that it has those tines are turned outwards. So whenever you're getting things out of jars like pickles or you're trying to pick up meat, it's going to anchor into the food. You're not going to have to fight with your food to keep it on the fork, which is always one headache I would rather not deal with. So that's pretty cool about the turning fork.
Sure.
But yeah, the petite carver is going to make light work of your pineapples, your cantaloupes, any acorn squash, anything like that. But none of these pieces so far are used for larger foods. That's why we have your butcher knife. If you click with me there, the butcher knife. This is definitely a heavy-duty knife. You're going to see here in a second if you'll start that video for me. So the butcher knife is your heavy-duty knife, which is good for disjointing large meats. It's also great for melons and squash. Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't know which knife to use?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the cool thing about the butcher knife. So if you've ever been in that situation, you might have grabbed for like just your best knife, like you said, that one knife you always use. And it might not have been the right knife for the job. So that's the cool thing about the butcher knife. Whenever you do reach for it, you know it's going to get the job done 100% of the time, and it's going to keep all your other knives sharp, which is always a bonus for sure, and will definitely extend the life of each knife. I like to say this is a knife we would use for Fruit Ninja. They love to hack up that pineapple. It's pretty cool to watch, honestly.
Right.
So that's definitely the Fruit Ninja knife for sure. But the butcher knife is not a chopping knife, and that's why we have your petite chef. So if you'll double click with me there. The petite chef. So like I said, I'm kind of like the antithesis of a chef, so this is the one I struggle with a little bit. But it does have a high knuckle clearance, which makes it comfortable and safer for dicing, mincing, and chopping. This delicate chopper is actually great for the 6 S's: soup, salad, stir-fry, stew, stuffing, and salsa. I would not recommend saying that 3 times fast. You might not make it. But yeah, the petite chef, the cool thing is it's sharp enough blade. You do not have to lift it off the cutting board. No offense to Gordon Ramsay, but every time he's chopping up his food, he's damaging his knife. So that's the cool thing about the petite chef. You go through your onions, your carrots, your asparagus, anything you need to, chopping-wise, really easily. These are actually longer videos, so but absolutely. So the petite chef is a very cool knife. But chef knives are for chopping, not slicing, and and that's why we have your slicer. So double click with me there. So do you eat a lot of bread, Mr. Scott?
Sure. Love bread. Love barbecuing. Put a lot of a lot of that with our burgers. Even with like doing some pasta salad. Some pasta with some garlic bread.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. You like those French loaves too, right?
Right.
Sure. So that's the unfortunate part about those French loaves. Whenever we're cutting them, you kind of just end up with a flat piece of bread afterwards, right?
Right.
A little frustrating to deal with. So that's the cool thing about the slicer. It is the best bread knife in the world, and that long double D edge makes it great for cutting cakes, shredding lettuce, and slicing boneless meats. The really cool part, though, is it's going to get through a piping hot French loaf of bread with ease, and it's going to keep the integrity of the bread, basically. So you can get through one cut without smashing your bread, which is always definitely a frustrating thing to deal with. So that's good that you can get through it. Now, personally, what I use it for is for heads of lettuce. So I found out pretty quickly when I left home that when you're the one buying things, they expire a lot faster. Am I right?
Sure.
So with those bags of lettuce for my protein shakes, my salads, whatever the case may be, I was paying $5 for it to expire before I was done with it. So that's the cool thing about the slicer. You can use it on your heads of lettuce, so you're going to get a lot more product. It's going to stay fresher longer. It always tastes better than the bag lettuce anyway. And it's about $2 at Walmart. So it's definitely a lot easier on your wallet too.
Sure.
But the slicer is not for anything with a bone. And that's why we have your master carving set. So if you'll click there.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So the master carving set is like your spare tire. You're definitely not going to use it every day. You probably forget about it sometimes. But whenever you do have that flat tire, or whenever you do need to barbecue, actually, you might not forget about it. You barbecue a lot. So you're going to be glad to have this one. Now, I know you barbecue. This is great for big roasts, any family occasions, holidays, anything like that. So both forks are important. So we have the turning fork, which I told you about earlier. That's for picking your meats up. And then we have that carving fork right there, which is great for holding the meats down. And the carver is just a larger version of the petite carver. It's about 2¼ inches longer, just to get through your bigger roasts and turkeys, things of that nature, a lot easier. So what we like to say is that the carver and the carving fork is the master carving set. Then the carver and the turning fork is the master lifting set.
Okay.
But can you see over a lifetime you use every tool in your basic set?
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So to complete that set, we actually have table knives, which are used for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the wide blade and rounded tip makes it safer, but with the double D edge, it's still going to cut like a steak knife. And if you'll click that arrow for me,
okay,
I actually have a video, and we're going to compare a steak knife with Cutco's table knife. I'm going to use leather. So I usually equate that to an extremely well done steak. So with the steak knife, you have to apply a lot of pressure, obviously. When we're cutting our steaks, kind of get that earthquake effect where the table starts shaking. We're all cutting at the same time. It's a little frustrating to deal with. And then we have the table knife. So with that table knife, you see it takes little to no effort compared to the steak knife. I mean, she doesn't even have to saw back and forth. It's just going straight through. That's the very cool thing about that. It is very sharp, and it's because of that double D edge. So I like to say, hopefully your steaks are never as thick as leather, but if they are, that table knife is going to go through them like butter, which is awesome. And for customers who like the feel of a large steak knife, our 2 larger sets do come with that option as well. Excuse me. If you'll click that arrow with me, I actually want to show you our storage options, cutting board, and a couple other things to complement your homemaker set. So, Mr. Scott, it'd be pretty dangerous to have really sharp, high-quality knives floating around in a drawer. And we kind of end up back at that situation we had earlier with the drawer full of knives, am I right?
Right.
Sure. So we have 2 storage options. Now, the most popular is our solid oak wood block, which is going to look great on any counter because, of course, we have to accessorize for the misses. And then we also have safe storage trays for storage in a drawer or on a wall. And I'm pretty excited about that one because, it's going to make me look like a professional cook when I have my knives on the wall. When my lady friends come over, I can just be like, yep, I'm a professional cook. Here's your ramen noodles. So you got to fake it till you make it, but that's all right. We'll get there when I get there. To the left there is our cutting board. So all of our sets do come with a free cutting board. It's made of a soft plastic, and like I said, it's important to use a soft plastic because it's not the food that dulls the knife, it's that hard cutting surface. And then in the background there, to complement your homemaker set, we have incredible kitchen tools and gadgets. So we have a 5-piece dishwasher-safe kitchen tool set, which is going to replace a drawer full of old kitchen tools. It's got a spatula, a ladle, 2 basting spoons, and a whisk. And then our 4-piece entertainer pack has comfort grip handles and is, of course, forever guaranteed. So I already told you about the peeler earlier. We have the pizza cutter. It's kind of like your kid's knife. I mean, you can roll it across your hand. It's still going to get through your pizzas and your quesadillas really easily.
Okay.
Then we have the ice cream scoop, which is an awesome scoop. So it's got an alloy on the surface of it that has a negative reaction with cold. So whenever, the cool thing about it is you can drop like an ice cube in it and it melts instantly. So no more being patient for your desserts. You get that instant gratification whenever you want. You don't have to wait on your frozen ice cream or anything like that. And then in the back there is my favorite knife by far, our sharpest knife by far, and that's the sticky starchy knife. So that's a very cool knife for sure. It's got a micro double D edge on there. Those 3 holes so no cheese gets stuck to it whenever you cut through your cheese or your potatoes, whatever the case may be. And then around the tip for spreading your cheeses on your crackers. Now, I told you that was the sharpest knife by far. Just to give you a point of reference, we use a strip of leather for the table knife and maybe stack it 2 or 3 more times. With the cheese knife, we actually stack 40 strips of leather on top of each other, and it goes through it just the same as the table knife would through that 1 strip of leather, just to give you a point of reference. And, of course, all those are forever guaranteed. So if you'll click that arrow with me. And then there's just a couple of demonstrations here for you with that sticky starchy knife. You see how clean that cut is. And then the peeler, just so I can carry it real easily. This is new territory for me on this one. My bad, Daniel.
All good, you're good.
All right. You'll click that arrow with me. We're actually going to go to the price comparison sheet. Oh, wait, never mind. Scratch it. So let me review if you quick why so many people choose to invest in Cutco, Mr. Scott. So you're always going to have sharp American-made knives that are comfortable, safe, and sanitary. Cutco is guaranteed to last forever. So it'll be the last set of knives you'd ever have to buy. And Cutco saves quite a bit of money. So most customers who buy Cutco eat out less. If that saves $60 a month, $720 this year, over 25 years, you're saving $18,000, which is a good return on any investment for sure. And then there are several reasons why so many customers choose sets. So Cutco sets do have the right tool for the right job, like I said, for safety and efficiency. They have a built-in discount, so it's cheaper. Just like when we go to Whataburger, we want the number 1. We don't want burgers, fries, and a drink. It's about $2 more expensive. Mm-hmm. And then sets come with a free cutting board and other free stuff because all of our favorite prices are free $99.
Right.
And they're much safer because they come in a blocker tray. And of course, we have the interest-free monthly investment option, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. But basically, Mr. Scott, the great thing is if you buy a set, there's going to be pieces you use daily, monthly, seasonally, and pieces you use 3 or 4 times a year. But whenever you do use those pieces for the 3 to 4 times a year, you're going to be so glad you have a full set. It's going to make you love your purchase even more. That's why we recommend getting a set. But when it comes to high-quality kitchen cutlery, it's like anything else. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. Cutco is top-rated, though, so we only compare it to the highest quality brands. So if you'll click with me, I actually have a price comparison for our top competitors, Wusthof and Shun. Now, are you familiar with Wusthof and Shun?
I've heard of Wusthof before.
Absolutely, yeah. So there are 2 high-quality sets made overseas, 2 of the top-selling brands in the stores. Each brand does have different types of sets which range in price. These 2 are equivalent to our homemaker set. And Wusthof is the more popular of the 2. I know it's sold in like William & Sonoma and Pottery Barn, things of that nature. So the price for this Wusthof set is $3,435. Now, sometimes you can find it on sale for $1,999, but there are definitely some major differences between these brands and Cutco. So woodstock has mostly straight edges, so they need to be sharpened constantly. Again, like I said, most companies recommend that, which again is a pretty big hassle. They're not recommended for the dishwasher, and the warranty is on manufacturing defects only. So if you do happen to chip a woodstock knife or it goes dull, something like that, you're gonna have to go replace it with $100 to $200 repurchase. With Cutco, the cool thing is you pay $0 for it. So in comparison, like I said, Cutco has our unique wedge lock handle, exclusive double D stay sharp edge, and we have our 4-part forever guarantee, which includes our free sharpening. Now, Cutco owners are going to tell you it's 10 times better than any knives they've ever used. Just considering the guarantee and unique features, most people would agree that Cutco is at least twice as good as woodstock. Something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you expect it to be at least twice the price. And at twice the price, we're talking over $4,000 for a set of Cutco. So if you'll click that arrow with me 2 more times, that's just the reminder of the Homemaker set. So as I said earlier, our Homemaker Plus 8 is our most popular set. It's perfect for families that cook 2 to 4 times a week. It has those 10 basic tools I explained earlier, 8 table knives, the wood block, and a sharpener for straight edges. Now, we do also have a Homemaker set without table knives. If you were considering a set of Cutco, would you prefer the set with the table knives or without?
I think with the table knives.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So the great thing is that it does not cost $4,000. In fact, it doesn't even cost as much as that woodstock price of $3,435. So the Homemaker Plus 8 set is only $1,273 paid in full, which includes shipping. But most of our customers take advantage of that 5-month interest-free investment option, which is only $278 today and includes tax. And we do have a bonus where if you buy now, I can give you a matching kitchen tool set, entertainer pack, or those super shears for free. Now, Mr. Scott, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Would you like to try out the Homemaker set today and get your free gifts?
We'd love to. It's a little bit more than we're looking to spend. Am I able to get individual pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'd love to show you these other sets that I have. I think they might be a lot better for you. Would you be interested in those?
Okay. I'll take a look at them.
All right, perfect. So I completely understand that is a lot more expensive than what most people want to be comfortable with buying right now. And I said that was the most popular set, but that's not what a lot of people do. What most people get is this galley set right here, and if you'll click there with me, you just have to pass through these two complete sets. So,
okay. Galley plus 6, that one?
Yes, sir. The Galley plus 6, yes, sir.
Okay.
So next is our Galley set, which has been recognized as a Best Buy by Consumers Digest. It's a perfect starter set, and it's still going to take care of all your needs. So it's got the paring knife for the air, trimmer for small stuff, spatula for sandwiches, a meat knife, a serving piece, a veggie chopper, and a bread knife. And it still comes with those 6 table knives. So it's a few less knives for a lot less money. And instead of paying $1,273 for the Homemaker set, the Galley Plus 6 set is only $919 or $202 per month for 5 months. And if you got that set today, I could still include those kitchen tools, entertainer pack, or super shears for free. Now, is that something you'd like to get today?
Yeah, it's probably still a little bit more than I want to spend.
That's no problem at all. Now, I do have my next trade-in would be the basic galley, which is only $709 or $156 per month for 5 months. Does that sound a little bit better?
No, because I kind of want those table knives. So if it comes without it, I don't think it's going to be worth it.
Absolutely. I completely understand. So that's no problem. We do also have starter sets.
Okay.
So if you'll click there with me, we'll go to the first 2. So these are the starter sets. They're great for building up over time and gifts for family and friends. The Essentials Plus 5 and Studio Plus 4 are just the basic sets and smaller blocks, but they're still going to get the job done. And if you'll click that arrow one more time, we've got the Space Saver, which is great for small kitchens, boats, campers, and RVs. The All Knife and Kitchenette set, which have the storage tray alternative to that block. And then the Gourmet set, which is great for alternative cuisine and Cutco owners. But out of these starter sets, which combination would you say you like the best?
I think that's Studio Plus 4, if I'm going back to that page.
Absolutely. That's a pretty good one. So that set is actually only $127 per month for 5 months, or $573 paid in full. And if you got that set today, you can still have those super shears or any of the gadgets I've shown you, plus the can opener or wine opener for free. Now, is that something you'd be interested in getting today?
I like this. There's a couple of pieces I don't think I would use. I don't know. Maybe if I can kind of put together my own little set, I think that'd probably be a little better for me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So that's actually what a lot of Cutco owners do. They customize their own set. So if you don't mind, let me show you how that works. If you'll click that arrow with me.
Okay.
You got a list of knives here. All right. So, Mr. Scott, you can customize your own set, and I can still get you something for free. So do you have a list of your 5 favorite knives that you can see yourself using the most?
All right. So it'd be the trimmer and the spatula spreader and the petite chef, slicer, and the cheese knife.
So the trimmer, the spatula spreader, the cheese knife, and what were the other 2? I'm so sorry.
The petite chef and the slicer.
Absolutely. So that's great. So we do have a couple incredible buy now bonuses. If you don't mind, let me show you how those work real quick.
Okay.
So you can pick any 5 knives, which you just did, and get a pair of super shears or 4 table knives for free. So that would kind of put you back at the Studio Plus 4 option right there, where you just customize your own set, basically.
Right.
Which free option would you prefer, though?
Table knives.
Table knives, absolutely. So let me add that up real quick. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have these prices memorized by now, but still a little rusty with my math. So just give me 1 second.
No problem.
It's a lot to memorize in a couple month period, so got to work on that for sure.
That's a lot of knives to memorize prices of, yeah.
But I'm getting close. Honestly, I know the first front page, so that's good. But okay, I did get it figured out. So let's see. So that set is actually only $483 in full, or you can put it on that 5-pay and actually be $96 for 5 months, which is cheaper than $100, cheaper than that studio set, and you still get those 4 table knives for free. So is that something you'd like to get today?
So that was how much total?
It was $43 in full, or $96 for 5 months.
Might still be a little bit more than I want to spend.
That's no problem at all. So we do actually have a couple more specials, if you don't mind me going through those with you.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So our next special is actually you get 4 of your favorite knives, and the 5th is free. So let me see. So that would be $411 in full, or you could still put it on that 5-pay, and you get $82. It'd be about $82 a month.
And so that would be just the 5 knives, but without the table knives.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Okay.
get that knife free. Does that sound like something you might be interested in doing today?
We're close. We're getting closer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, perfect. So I do have another special for you then. I think this one is probably the best one for you by the sounds of it. So let's see. So what you can do is you can buy 3 of your favorite knives, and I can give you the 4th free. Now, which knife can you see yourself living without?
Probably that spatula spreader.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me see. So that would actually be $328 in full, or since it's under $400, you could still put it on a 3-pay, and for 3 months it'd be about $109 for 3 months. Now, does that sound a little bit better for you today?
You know what? I think we can do that one.
Absolutely, perfect. Well, congratulations, Mr. Scott. You're gonna love your Cutco. Now, would you like to look at accessories while I write that up?
I think that's probably going to be good. I think we're going to be good on that order.
100%. Perfect. All right, let me write that up real quick. Well, Mr. Scott, I do have one more question for you, if you don't mind me asking.
Okay.
So how'd you like my demo?
I think you did a great job. Honestly,
Awesome.
You're really personable. You asked a lot of questions. You were really upbeat the whole entire time. I think you did a great job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So there is one last very important part, and I think this is where you can really help me out. So like I said at the beginning, I get paid every time I show Cutco, but I can only show it to people I've been personally recommended to. I love doing presentations. It's really important to me to keep a full schedule so I can, like I said, build those communication skills, work around my school schedule, and work on that scholarship opportunity that I'm working so hard for. So what would really help me out is if you could pull out your contact list and help me jot down 10 to 15,000 of your top friends. No, not 10 to 15,000, but 10 to 15 people who just might be nice enough to help me out. And Mr. Scott, I'm definitely not looking for people who you think would buy, just nice people like you willing to take a look. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me.
All right, Makobi, that was the best virtual demo I have ever heard in 3 years of me teaching the virtual demo. I understand why you sold $10,000 over SC2 push on virtual demos. I understand why you sold $25,000 of Cutco on virtual demos. And that's correct, right? You have never done have you ever done an in-home demo or only virtual?
I'm trying to get contacts, but no, only virtual demos.
Only online demos. So you have made over $5,000 this summer, basically just sitting on your couch.
Yep. It's doing nothing. It's hanging out in my house.
That's amazing. Talk about the ultimate, college job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. This has been more than valuable. You don't know how much